Good afternoon. Oh my goodness, it's Monday. Welcome to Pat's Stamping Place. And let me know if you are joining either on Facebook or YouTube. Oh my goodness, where has the time gone since last week? Got lots to show you today, something new that I've found that I love. So give a minute here for somebody to hop on. So far, I am in the blue. Last week, I was having trouble on the connection, so I've got my fingers crossed that things are going to work. Let me flip to my face here. Carol, hello, welcome. You're the first, so now I know I'm really live. So I will go ahead and get started because it's 3:30 on Monday. Excuse me. Oh my goodness, I had a busy day. And I had a big lunch, so hello, Gloria. So I'm hoping I stay awake here. Plus, did anybody get to see the moon last night? The eclipse, the blood moon eclipse. I stayed up, and about 11 o'clock, I could see the moon on my deck. It was gorgeous. Of course, my phone camera didn't take very good pictures. It was fuzzy. And so I kept checking like every 15 minutes, and my sister and I were texting back and forth because she said, I've never stayed up this late, so she was having trouble. So long story short, about midnight, it was supposed to peak about 11:15, something like that. About midnight, I went out and looked. Hello, welcome, Rose, and let's see, Gloria, you're here, and Sue, thank you. So I went out about midnight to look, and the moon was nowhere to be seen. Nowhere. So I guess the cloud cover had moved in. I even went out on the street. I'm on a corner, and I walked to the stop sign, and no moon to be seen. So yeah, Gloria, you were up too. Yeah, it was supposed to be a once in a lifetime thing, and who knows if I'll be around for the next time it happens. So I guess I'll just have to look at pictures somewhere. Okay, let's get started with the fun stuff and why you're here. I'll flip down to my desktop here. And of course, we have the new catalog. And if you still need a catalog or whatever, please let me know. And I will make sure that you get one. I should have brought some water down here, but I didn't. So I'll have to keep clearing my throat. All right. Nancy Thompson feels like, yeah, since you got me live, you had a great, I thought that it was supposed to be better further east, and you were probably enough further east that you saw it. Did you take any pictures? If you did, you need to share. Although I don't know that you get real good pictures like that from an iPhone, and I didn't want to dig out and see if I remember how to use my DSR or DSL camera. So that was just a little bit beyond what I wanted to do last night. But anyway, I didn't get to see it, and my sister didn't get to see it in Florida, and I don't think it was visible where my kids live in Texas. So yep, it just didn't happen. And then the rain came. Okay, annual catalog. Let me show you what I'm going to show today, but that's going to be in the second card. If you've seen the catalog and you notice that this front cover, there's a little bit of a glare there, is just awesome. When I first saw the catalog, and I think I showed this a few weeks ago, I just had to make this card. And we do have all of the sample ingredients, let's put it that way, the recipe of how to make the cards in the catalog. And so I can share that with you. Doesn't tell you exactly how to do it or what the sizes are or anything. I guess they just assume that we can figure that out, or you can tweak it to make it what you want. But I just knew that I wanted to make this card. And let's see if I have it here, or where did it go? It's over here. And of course, I shamelessly copied the whole thing. And it was one of the first things that I ordered when we could get the catalog a week or so ago, because it was not on our pre-order. Oh, you'll have to see if you can get those. Yes. So anyway, this was the paper, and I am going to show a project today with this paper, and it's just incredible. I know you think that we can never have, can we have more flowers? Do we need more flowers? Well, I guess we always do when Stampin' Up! Comes up with amazing designs like this. And on this card, there's actually very little stamping. The label is on just a little piece of white, and the stamping back here and under here, and the other parts are definitely die cut from the designer paper. So easy to do. So not this card, but I'm going to show you a card with some of this paper as my second project today. So I'm going to do two things today. So I better get moving here. Thanks, Nancy. Okay, I've been looking at, I somehow came up, you know how you get things on your Facebook feed and you don't know why you get them, I guess because you've liked something else and then you see it. Well, I've always liked what is called a CAS card, clean and simple, which means there's a lot of white space. And a lot of people have trouble with white space because we think that we need to fill it up with stuff, whether it is more embellishments, more paper, whatever. Well, I saw, welcome Fran, I saw a card on an Instagram reel, I guess, and then I decided that I would research and see what it was because she didn't really say what it was. And it's called the rolled, where's my notes here? The rolled paper technique. So let me show you what I've come up with to showcase this particular technique, and to be able to also show you some new product. Okay, this is, oh, we're back to the yellow again, darn it. And I said I was going to call the Geek Squad, but I really think my problem has to do with Spectrum. So I need to go to the Spectrum store and have them probably come out and redo my internet stuff. Because I know that I'm definitely close enough to my connection. So if it's slow again, I'm sorry. But anyway, this is an embossing folder that also cuts out all of these little pieces. And this was one of the first things that I saw in the catalog, and it's called Twigs and Sprigs Embossing Folder and Die. And for some reason, this one is not called a hybrid. We've had hybrid embossing folders and dies in the last two catalogs. And what that means is, these come together. What that means is the die here fits inside the embossing folder here on the side that has the Stampin' Up! Logo. It fits in there. You can kind of feel it snap. We had one last year in the Christmas catalog, so I'm not sure if we're going to see that again. And then we had one in last year's annual catalog that I jumped on and absolutely loved, but it retired, and I don't remember the name of it right now. But anyway, this snaps right in here. You put your paper on there, run it through the embossing folder, or excuse me, through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and you always want to use this side first, the folder end first, not the open end. And you get all of these cute little things cut out. So I've got these in white, and you could use chalk on them, or just sponge, or use a blending brush to give it a light, soft color, and add those to your card. But let's put this away because I'm not actually going to use that right now. But the embossing folder itself is just awesome. So that's what I'm going to show you with this rolled paper technique. Okay, let's put it away here. So I have already run it through the cut and emboss machine. And this is what you get. And it's just stunning as white. And of course it would look good in any color too. But I wanted to use the white space. So let's put that away too. Okay, so if you like to tear paper or whatever, you're going to love this. If you don't like to tear paper, you're still going to love this and you're going to want to try it. So this is a piece of just basic white, and I'm going to look at this and think of it in thirds, but I'm not going to tear it all the way down. I'm going to only tear it partially down. Now, keep in mind too that this is probably not going to be a clean tear because I've already got this embossing stuff here. And I'll show you a couple other cards that I did without embossing, but I wanted to show this amazing embossing folder. So anyway, I'm going to start tearing, and tearing is easy if you let your thumbs control where you're going to go. So I'm going about an inch over. I'm not even going to really measure it, but I'll give you an idea. It's basically about 1.5 inches because this is a full quarter sheet. So this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 because I want it to totally cover up the entire card base. That's 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, and it's scored at 4 1/4. So I'm only going to go down this far. So that little flappy thing is there. Okay. Now I'm going to kind of push that back so I can control this part and do the same thing over here on this side and just start tearing. And again, let your thumbs control. You're not ripping. There's a difference between ripping and tearing. We are tearing. So you just kind of slowly let your thumbs control that down to where I stopped at the end, which was about 1 inch from the end. So I'm kind of, if you've got the idea now, creating a window in here. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and cut, make it a little bit easier. I'm going to cut a little bit of this off because I'm going to roll this middle part. I'm going to roll it back to the end here. And I don't really need that much bulk, so I'm going to cut off about that much. That I'm not going to measure. I really don't know how much it is. Now, because this is still kind of thick and stiff, I'm going to use a bone folder to kind of soften that center part so I can roll it. So I'm going to go both ways. And that just kind of softens the fibers in the paper, because we know that paper is made from wood fibers. And that will soften it and make it easier to roll. Has anybody seen this before? Is this something new, I hope, that I'm teaching you? It just kind of has, oh, I love it, love it, love it, love it. And then I joined a Facebook group, and it's called Clean and Simple Card Making, I think. I can put it on the Facebook page later. I forgot the exact name of it. And there are just some stunning cards on there that will give you ideas for how to do this. Okay, so now I can put that away. And my scissors. I want to roll this. And then I do have a base of thick Whisper White. And this is, oh, did I say Whisper White? basic white, basic white. We haven't had Whisper White for a year and a half. And this is just a piece of basic white. It's a little bit thinner. So now I'm going to roll this. If you can see. Thanks, guys. I love to share. I love to teach and show what is new, and at least new to me. And if you like it, you can go with it. You can modify it, make it your own. So now I'm rolling this. And by cutting off, the first couple ones I did this, I didn't remember that the lady that I was watching had cut off a part of it, and it was way too thick. And I'll show you that card there too. So I'm going to unroll it and then roll it again, make it a little bit smaller. A pencil is probably too big to roll around, but I had found a small paintbrush. Little paintbrush will work if you have trouble getting that to roll. So when I get to the end, I'm going to kind of flatten it. And I don't believe this would be thick enough to have a problem with the post office, or you can cut a little bit more back if you need to. So now I'm going to take my Stamp and Seal, and let's see, I think that's stuck there, and add that there so I know it will stick. You could use tear and tape too. So push that and just kind of fold it down, because we know that that's kind of rolled, and then you can pop it up. So yeah, a chopstick would be great too, or a little skewer that you might want to put meat on for the grill. I don't have any chopsticks down here. I need to get some. Go to the Chinese restaurant and get some. All right, so now this gets put on the card front, and as you can see, we've got a lot of white space. Even though it's embossed, it's still white, because on that Facebook group, there's kind of some rules and regulations about the things that they'll allow to post on there, and there needs to be a lot of white space. So there we go with that. Before I glue this down, I'm going to stamp here in the middle, and for this, I'm going to bring in the Happiness Abounds stamp set, and this is what I'm going to use for our second card today, and do 2 cards. The Happiness Abounds is the one that is on the front, zoom back out again, on the annual catalog. And that's here on, where are we here? Here we are, page 108 and 109, The Hues of Happiness. And it's awesome, and I love the paper, and that's what I'll show next. But anyway, I'm going to use the Happy Birthday, but I like this because all of these are kind of long and skinny and look really, really nice on a card like this. So I'll come back to that in a minute. So I've got my Happy Birthday here. Kind of want to figure out where I want to put this before I glue that down. In fact, I'm going to put a little pencil mark there, kind of there, and then I'm also going to stamp something over here. So, and that is from the Happiness Abounds. So we'll have a small stamped image and Happy Birthday, because I don't want to get any ink on that. And I'm going to use my Memento Black. Yes, Sue, make your list. It'll be around for a year. The paper is just awesome. Then I'll give you an idea what I did with the paper this morning. Okay, let's make sure that that's Straight, okay. And let's put that here on where I put that little mark. That looks pretty straight. Got lucky on that one. And then this is a little, just a little floral image from the stamp set. And there is a die to cut with this, but I'm just going to make it real easy and stamp that. And I've covered up my little pencil marks, so I don't even think I need to go back in and erase those. And then I'm going to use, because I don't have the new ones yet, the 2123 in colors of Stampin' Write markers. Now, the reason I'm not using the blends on this, I'm going to use Polished Pink and Soft Succulent. The reason I'm not using the blends, which I absolutely love, is because they would bleed through. And I don't want to have another layer on the card. So I'm going to use these, and it's just a small image anyway. So let's quickly add these because these don't bleed through. Of course, they don't blend. You don't get the light and the dark, but I think for this it will be just fine. Then I'll add some pale papaya in the center. So did everybody have a great weekend? It was just gorgeous here, nice and hot. And then the rain came and it's cooled off, so it's really nice now. Just perfect weather for late May. Can you believe that Memorial Day is coming up? Is that a week from today? No. Or is it? No, it can't be a week. It's 2 weeks from today. Memorial Day as in the Monday holiday, I guess. I remember growing up, Memorial Day was always May 31st. But now we have the Monday holidays, which is nice, I guess. Okay, so we've got that. Let's grab the pale papaya. Now this is the last year for these colors to be around, because we just got our new ones, which I absolutely adore. And I like these too. I like all of our in colors. And let's add some soft succulent. Okay, so it is, in my mind, this is considered clean and simple. So now let's add this to the card. And because I run this through an embossing folder, and sometimes your seal adhesive will pull on that, I'm going to use the liquid glue. And that also gives me some wiggle room to make sure that I get this on straight. Okay. And then this card is basically done. And if you go to Pinterest and look for rolled paper technique, I think you might see some other things beside that, but you will get some great ideas there too. And apparently this has been around for a long time. I saw one that somebody, and I don't know if it's a Stampin' Up! Person or not, from 2011. So yeah, it's been around a long time. It took me this long to find it. So Anyway, that's our card. And I'm not even going to put any bling on it. The less is better on this type of design, because you've got your texture here, you've got texture here, and a lot of white space, but you've got a great focal point. So that's the rolled paper technique. And then I kicked it up with this embossing folder. Here's another one that I did, and I colored with the pale papaya. Now this was the one that I believe that I did not tear off part of it at the beginning, and it's pretty thick. So I may end up unrolling that if I want to put that on in the mail, unrolling that and tear some of that off so that it won't be so thick. Now here's a couple more that I did. If you have any of the New Horizons designer paper that is currently in the January to June mini catalog, the scenes on there are just itching to use this type of technique, because it looks like you're in a, in a distance there. And now that I think of it, when I found this technique, a lot of them were using digital images that had been printed and then torn off. It was almost like a photograph was under there. So I thought this was a good retirement card. I could put probably some trees there, so it just gives you a different image, like you're opening up something new. And then this was the first little happy birthday that I did with that Twigs and Sprigs embossing folder. And I used our new deckled edge rectangles around that. So that one wasn't a full quarter card base. So that one was different too. So those are my rolled paper technique cards. All right, now let's go to the Happiness Abounds. And this is a card that I got the idea from a monthly swap that I do online. And so I have pretty much copied this one too to get the idea. And it's a card base that is the regular 5.5 by 4.25, Night of Navy. And then this is the card itself that it's going to open up, that is 3 3/4 by 11. Where are we here? By 11, scored at 5.5. So that's going to go on the card base like this. So it fits the whole thing with just 1/4 inch on either side. And now I'm just going to decorate it with this amazing paper. So let me show you this paper. It's just incredible. I've used quite a bit of it already, actually. But this is called Hues of Happiness 12 by 12 paper. And it's florally, lots of floral. So I'll go through it quickly with all of these different colors. We've got some little X's there, stars, some little flowers. This is awesome, the way this part is done on some of these backgrounds. Just beautiful. So there's that one. Here's this one. And some of these can be cut with the die cuts. And I'll get to that in a minute. But actually, these are not hard to fussy cut. They're not hard at all. And then we've got some navy here with little flowers. More gorgeous background. It looks like it's been watercolor washed. And then the last two, this one with lots of purples and navies and blues, and the yellows and pinks with that. Now, these two are what I spent this morning kind of cutting up a whole sheet of paper. I'll show you that in a minute. And then when I came home from lunch, I cut a whole bunch of them out with the die cuts. So this fits here. I don't know if you can see that. So that one fits on here. The leaves fit. So what I did was I just randomly cut around the flowers and had strips of them, and then I could cut them out individually. This one fits. Here's another leaf. This large floral or large leaf fits. And wait, is it that? Yeah, that one. And then, oh, here's this one that has the little stem on it here. If you can see that down here. That one fits too. Whoops, I fell. And that way, when they're cut out, they do fit through the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And then there is this piece as part of the dies. And with that, you get something that looks like this. Put it behind that so you can see what that looks like. So it doesn't cut out, and it doesn't even cut all of these little pieces out, just part of it, to give you a textured background on your card. So that's that. And then of course you have these edge stamps, or edge dies, excuse me. Hey Shirley, welcome, thank you. So there's that, and they look like, you know, notebook paper, which I love. So those could be used on lots of different things. So here are the die cuts that I have come up with so far. Just put them in this little pouch thing here. But this is what I have yet to do, and it really goes pretty fast. So I've got all of these, and don't forget the ones that are on the side too. You could fussy cut around those, and I'll show you what I did with that. So these I'll probably work on tonight while I'm watching my favorite Monday night show, which actually I forget what it is right now, what I watch on Monday night. Okay, so let's put this card together, because that's basically what it is, putting it together. Okay, so let's see. I've got a blue here. Let me tell you what the colors are. There are so many different colors in this paper. Coastal Cabana, Daffodil Delight, Flirty Flamingo, Fresh Freesia, Gorgeous Grape, Granny Apple Green, Mango Melody, Melon Mambo, Mossy Meadow, Night of Navy, and Pool Party. So if there's not a color there that you don't like, you'll love it. Okay, so let's kind of arrange this first. Before I glue anything down, and then I'm going to, let's see, I don't know about using the yellow. I think I've got one Pool Party one here, or Coastal Cabana. And so it's just however you want to arrange it, and then obviously add some leaves in. And some can be glued down. Here's a lighter pink one too. And some can be used with dimensionals. So we need probably another leaf. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I've got 8 things on there. I always like to go with the odd number. I think I'm going to go with this darker pink instead of that one. This is kind of like playing with dolls like we did as kids. Okay, I'll figure out where that's going to go. And this can hang over the edge a little bit, so that's okay. So I'm just going to move those down a little bit. And on this one, instead of happy birthday, let's see. I think I'm going to do the sending many thanks for all you do. Because I did the happy birthday in that other card. And I'm going to use Gorgeous Grape. And let's make sure that it looks okay. Looks good. And I'll put that up to the top, a little bit to the right. Ah, like it. All right, let's glue it down and we'll be good to go. Okay, so I think I want to glue this one, and I'm just going to use some of the snail. Let's put that up there. And put a leaf behind it. And then this one, I believe I will, the larger ones, I'm going to do with dimensionals. And we'll put maybe mini dimensionals on this one set of leaves. Okay, let's put this one over here. Okay, it's not exactly looking like the way I had it laid out, but that's okay. Because with the dimensionals, I've not popped them down really hard yet, so I think I could move them around if I wanted to. And then we'll add some bling to this, and then we'll be done. I do want to show you the original one, as well as do something on the inside. some leaves over here. Okay, what do you think? Isn't that just stunning? So let's add some seal to the back of this. And make sure I got that straight, because that stuff doesn't want to, once that's down there, it doesn't want to move around. And then we still have the pastel pearls. So that's what I'm going to add to this. Use those. And let's see, I didn't put any purple in this one, so I'm just going to go with maybe the pink and this light blue, I guess. Thanks, Carol. I just love these. Love it, love it, love it. All right, now let me show you and I'll show you my original one. When you have pieces like this that are on the edge and you just can't bear to throw them away, let's see, here's one that might be a little bit better. Here, this one I think is better. That's what you can put on the inside. There we go. Put that on the inside. However, it will fit on your card with whatever part got cut off. Here's one that looks good too, that I could put right there along the edge. I think that's all that I had actually die cut out so far. And then that part doesn't go to waste. And then you have your sentiment that can go on the inside. So this was my original that I did this morning with more blues and Coastal Cabana and Happy Birthday. And then there's this one. And on this one, I did that down in the corner. And it just looks like it's supposed to go there. So, you know, where you can save paper, save paper. So that's it for today, ladies. Thank you so much. And I'll be back again next week with maybe something new. Who knows? So thank you for joining. And as always, if you're on YouTube, please click the like button. And I would love it if you share it. And if you need a